Hey guys, storm update. It's bad. In fact, I can't even see out my window because the snow and ice have frozen my window. I'll show you. That's terrible. It's still snowing. I can show you that out the kitchen. Out the kitchen door. Hopefully. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can see it. It's officially a blizzard. I wish I could. I don't know if you can see it severely blowing around, but it is. Anyway, yeah, it's bad, and I just saw somebody driving. I'm like, it's a blizzard, dude. So, but I can't see much out my windows. There's literally snow on the bottom, and they're completely frozen. I think it's just snow that's been blown up against them. It does look like they attempted to plow something, or maybe those are tracks. I don't know, but it's bad. That's the weather update. No, we are in the middle of a blizzard. So, but I live in New England. So, here in New England, here in Massachusetts, we get blizzards this time of year. They say it's the first real blizzard we've had since 2022, which is probably true because we haven't had. This is the worst winter we've had since before my mother passed away in December of 21. I don't think we got any snow that year. And it was either 22 or 23 that it was literally 40 or 50 degrees all winter, which is weird. It was like, do I not live in Massachusetts? I mean, hello? I'm taking a walk in November in a t-shirt or a windbreaker, you know? So it was weird. Last year, I think we had one kind of snowstorm, but they're saying we had a blizzard in 22. I don't recall that. Maybe we did. But my mother died in December of 21. That year was a mild winter. The year my father died was a pretty mild winter, too. We were able to go visit him almost every day. We had an ice storm once. And that was about it. There was quite a bit of snow on the ground when we buried Mom. Because they had to plow the area of the cemetery. So yes, it snowed in December of 21. I don't remember it really. I really don't know, but somebody just drove by. Are you crazy? Do you not see that wind blowing the snow around? Just part of the reason that it's up against the window is that blizzard effect, the wind effect. And believe me, it woke me up a couple of times last night. Like I said, I don't remember a blizzard in 22, but that doesn't mean there wasn't one. This is normal. Like I said, it was either 23 or 24 that was ridiculously warm all winter. And we're all going, we're grateful for this, but when's the other shoe going to drop? You know, like, when is it going to go from this beautiful weather to 3 feet of snow? Because the change is going to be so dramatic that it's going to go crazy. And the other shoe never quite dropped that year. So I can't remember if it was 23 or 24. Last year it was cold, but we didn't get a lot of snow last year. We haven't gotten a lot of snow the last few years. Like I said, in 21, when my mother passed away, there was snow in the cemetery, but who plows a cemetery? You know, of course there was snow in the cemetery. But what can I? So, and there was a lot of snow on the side of the road, but I think it had snowed several days before the funeral. Yeah, the funeral was in January, and I think it had snowed several days before. Obviously, not a blizzard, but so like I said, and since she passed away, we've had a couple of snowstorms, but nothing. I mean, the one that we had a few weeks ago, when we had a foot, was bad. This is a blizzard. You can see the snow blowing around. That constitutes a blizzard. Basically, for those of you who've never lived in the Northeast, where we get blizzards, what a blizzard is, for those of you who live in the South and can relate to this, is basically hurricane force winds with snow. That's what it is. It's hurricane force winds with snow. So if you've ever had a hurricane with lots of wind and lots of rain, well, think of that kind of wind with snow. That's what it is. Like I said, I heard the wind a few times last night. It woke me up a few times. So yeah, it's bad. That's why the snow is up against the window the way it is from that wind. And I just heard it again. And I just saw the snow blowing around out that way. And the weirdest thing with a blizzard is we had a historic blizzard in 1978. It was in February, so I was 3.5 years old. I was asleep for most of it, I guess. I turned 4 in August of 78. And this was a historic blizzard. But it was weird. Oh, you're okay. You're oil, gas, whatever. Your emergency, you're okay. That's crazy. Anyway, you're not. What the? Ice just blew. Literal chunks of, well, anyway. And the weirdest thing, because of the way the wind blows, just like in a hurricane, the wind will blow the water in a certain direction. So the front of your house may be flooded, but the back of your house may not have any water. If that kind of makes sense. Well, in a blizzard, sometimes, just why I looked out both sides. It can do that. Depending on the way the wind is blowing, the snow is going to pile up more in one area than another area. So, in the blizzard of 78, the wide open driveway area piled up, and the backyard didn't. In fact, they had to tunnel out the door. I'm sure I'd have to tunnel out this one right now. They had to tunnel out the door. Out the front door. Back door, there was nothing there, practically. I mean, I'm sure there was snow on the ground. It was snowing. But it didn't build up as much because the wind didn't blow it up against the door like it did on the other side. There was just a big open expansive driveway for the wind to blow it. The house blocked the wind from blowing it up against the other door, if that makes sense. That's why I checked both sides of this house, because I didn't know which way the wind was blowing. It's obviously blowing this way, and it's swirling over here in the trees. So, yeah, it's pretty bad. But I just wanted to explain to you that might be watching from somewhere where they don't have blizzards what a blizzard is. And it's basically, like I said, it's hurricane force winds with snow. And it's not pretty. I mean, sure, all this whiteness would be considered pretty. But let's see, what's the temperature out there? I'm sure this is not, it might be accurate. It says 28. And actually 28's not terrible. That's normal for this time of year. And I don't even see, I mean, obviously they've been out, but I don't see any plows or anything right now. They were obviously out over the night because you can kind of see where the street is lower than the rest of it. Literally, the snow is, the hedges are just, and the snow is up at least halfway up the hedges across the street. There's a lot. Okay, he's a plow, but he didn't have his plow down. He must be going to the highway department, which would be in that direction. Actually, he could go in that direction too. So, yeah, that's what we're dealing with. Just to give you an idea of what a blizzard is. And fortunately, there is no power out or anything like that. And it started late last night, because it came out and it was so strong, I couldn't see the house across the street. Now the house across the street's buried in snow. Literally. So, like I said, their hedges are about halfway up in the snow, and the snow on top of their hedges has them going. So, yeah, that's fun. Especially when we already had over a foot in what's called a nor'easter, which is a snowstorm, a severe snowstorm with wind, but not enough wind to classify it as a blizzard. This, my friends, is a blizzard. So, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned something, especially if you don't live here. You know what I mean? God bless you. If you do live here, stay safe and be smart. Don't leave your house. God bless you. And I'll be seeing you soon. Please subscribe. We only have 29 to go to make it. Bye, guys.